What's up, guys? It's Simonad back here with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be doing my top 10 superstars of the week. I meant to do this video yesterday, but I forgot to write down who I wanted to be in the top 10 and then honorable mention, so I'm going to do that today for you guys. First on the list at number 10, we have the returning Tosca. I picked Tosca at number 10 because she did return this week, but she didn't really have a match. Well, she didn't have a match, and she just returned, and that's why she's number 10 on the list. Next up, we have It's Rusev Day. We have Rusev Day at the number 9 spot because they did win their number 1 contendership match, but I'm waiting until today to see if they could be higher on this list because they did not win the number 1 contendership for the SmackDown Live Championships. They just advanced from last week. And the number 8, the first time ever on my top 10 list, we have R-Truth. R-Truth, I put him on this list because he did win against The Miz, but I didn't put him higher on the list because he really got dominated that whole match from Miz, and if it wasn't for Daniel Bryan coming out, he probably would have lost that match. Next up, we have the returning Bella Twins. Bella Twins returned last week, and they are number 7, I said? Yes, 7 on my list because they did win their match, and they did really good. They could have been higher if it wasn't for Bree's 2 botches with the suicide dives. Next up, at number 6, we have the Shield. You might be wondering, why is the Shield this low on the list? I put the Shield this low is because they did get beat up not once, but twice, and they didn't really do much last week except for get arrested and get beat up. So that's why they're number 6 at the list. Next up at number 5, we have Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. Brie Bella shows up twice on this list. I put Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella on this list because they did interfere in the Miz's match by distracting him. And they did beat up Zelina Vega and Andrade Cien Almas, and that's why they reached number 5 on this list. Now we have the new Raw Tag Team Champions, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. I put them on this number 4 on the list because they did win the SmackDown Live the Raw Tag Team Championships, and they did beat up the Shield last week, so that's why they are this high on the list. Maybe on my next list they can reach higher. Number 3 spot, we have AJ Styles. I put Styles on this list because he beat up Samoa Joe last week, and I was glad to see Samoa Joe get beat up because Samoa Joe has just been playing mind games with AJ Styles, so that's why AJ Styles is number 3 on this list. At the number 2 spot, we have Braun Strowman. And I know you guys are probably wondering, why is Braun Strowman number 2 on the list? He did really good last week. But it really just wasn't enough to be the number 1 spot. Because all he did was really, beat up the Shield and, that was basically it that he did, but he did really good last week, so that's why he's number 2. And you guys always know this. Right before we get to the number 1 spot, I have 5 honorable mentions. This in no particular order, but first we have Kevin Owens, because he did make his return last week. Not his in-ring return, but since he said I quit, he did make his return last week and attack Bobby Lashley, so that's why he reached honorable mentions. Next up, we have Naomi on honorable mentions. She reached the honorable mentions because she did win her match last week against Peyton Royce, and I wonder if she'll beat Billie Kay tonight on SmackDown Live, and that's why she's on the honorable mentions. Next up, we have Charlotte Flair. I said Charlotte Flair on the honorable mention because she didn't do anything last week except for have an interview with Becky Lynch. And that's why she reached the honorable mentions. Same as Becky Lynch, because she's on my honorable mentions. It's the same reason as Charlotte. She didn't do anything last week, but they were going back and forth and roasting each other. So it was really good entertainment, so that's why they are on the honorable mentions. And then the last and fifth honorable mention, we have Samoa Joe. I put Samoa Joe at the number 6. I put Samoa Joe on the honorable mentions because he did play mind games with AJ Styles, but he did get beat up by AJ Styles last week, so that's why he's on honorable mentions. And now we get down to our number 1 pick. We have The Undertaker. I picked The Undertaker as the number 1 slot because he did return last week. If you guys didn't know, he did return last week. And he was not roasting HBK. He was roasting Triple H at the same time, saying, oh, you just retired because you're a coward. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, he's gonna bury Triple H like he did Shawn Michaels at Super Showdown. And I can't wait to see that match. And it was a really good segment last week. I have this question for you guys. Leave in the comments below if you want me to add NXT superstars to the top 10 list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I had a really fun time picking the superstars. I will be making a Hell in a Cell prediction this weekend. So stay tuned for that on my channel. And like, comment, and subscribe. And see you guys in the next video. Bye, champs.